We're going live. Okay.
Doing it live.
Make us live. Make us live again.
Yes. Live in 5.
There we go.
What? All right. We should be live now.
Pop out.
I see us there.
I'm popping it out.
Started streaming less than 1 minute ago, apparently.
That's right.
Yep.
That's how we do.
3 watching now. So here we are.
It's all 3 of us.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
It's just us 3.
Exactly.
All
I
right.
can identify every single person watching it. Okay, now other people are joining. Look at that.
They've gotten a notification.
You know, I bet Kill Switch 80's here.
He says, yo, yo, yo.
Oh my gosh, is that right? Look
He
at
or
that.
she. All right. Let's do this thing.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to episode 740 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January. That's not right. Do this again. Rewind.
Tuesday, January?
That was right.
It's the date in the outline wasn't right.
Oh.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say,
it
I
is
don't think you
Tuesday.
got
It is
that wrong.
January.
It is Tuesday. It is also January.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 740 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
How's it going, sir?
That's going pretty good. I can't
Cool.
complain.
Alrighty then. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
I'm back, baby. Did you miss
Welcome
me?
back.
Did you
Welcome
miss
back.
me?
How's the year?
Yes. How's the year?
I mean, fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's good.
Did it-
It's been an adventure. Though.
I would
So
imagine it didn't sound good.
you know what? This has not been.
Phil couldn't hear it, so he doesn't know how it sounded.
It's not been. Oh, I could hear fine. It's just
It was just painful.
anytime I moved my head, or in fact had a head, it felt like someone was stabbing me in it.
Ouch.
So
Oh yeah.
I get chronic ear infections. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why. Typically what happens is I go,
It's probably your
Two-
diet. You still eat like a 4-year-old, so
I mean, I pour Mountain
You-
Dew
you
in my ears constantly. I can't see the harm
You
there.
don't spray aerosol cheese directly in. I mean, come on.
It's you get the Dorito dust on your fingers, and then I
Yep,
start cleaning
there
out
it
my
is.
ears, and then
There it
yeah,
is.
that's the problem. So usually what I do is I'll go in to like an urgent care. They'll look in my ear and say, "Oh yeah, that looks infected." And I'll say, "Yeah."
jump back
bet
in
it is.
surprise.
Oh my goodness, you don't say. They'll give me some ear drops. They'll maybe give me an antibiotic, and then they'll send me on my way. I'll use that, and then like a day or two later, clears up, feels fine.
Sure.
For some reason, didn't happen this time. So I went to see an ENT doctor.
Ear, nose, and throat.
Emergent nanotechnology is what that stands for. So I have a mass of tiny robots
Phil's aerosol cheese snake.
living in my
One of Solid's brothers. The lesser known brother.
Put me on a Ritz. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's looking in there, and he gave me a different antibiotic pill, and which was apparently it was a more potent antibiotic pill that he warned me. And this is where this week gets even crazier, because he
Don't get
warned me-
addicted to it, Phil.
No,
Don't
I'm
get addicted to these.
Addicted to an antibiotic. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
They did give me some probiotics to counter
Ah.
the
Yeah,
antibiotics.
there you go.
So
All right.
I like
I
it.
have a battle in my gut going on right now, which we all know how that goes.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
So this new antibiotic, potent stuff, but he mentioned there's a potential side effect, And he said it's extremely rare. He's never seen it.
Okay.
But there's a chance that it might weaken my tendons.
What?
But he said,
Okay.
Joke's on him.
I know, right? So he said, I think the risk is worth it, though, given how bad this infection is.
Say goodbye to your basketball career, Mr. Theobald.
But, and boy, this was the sticking point. And clearly he wasn't taking a very good look at me when he said this. Please don't exercise while you're taking this. And I said, I'll see what I can do, Doc.
Oh my God.
But you know,
Please
a
don't.
routine's a routine and it's hard to get out of that. So I took this antibiotic for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then yesterday evening, I started feeling a weird pain in a muscle, the muscle on the back of my shin. And I started panicking. I started getting really paranoid, thinking, holy crap, is this happening to me? Am I going to go to bed and like, I'm going to turn wrong and my tendon's going to snap and my leg muscle's going to curl up under my skin and I'm going to be screaming in pain and they're going to have to hobble me to the hospital. It didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Spoiler alert.
I did not take the pill today. I'm going back to see the guy tomorrow, so I'm going to tell him what happened there and see if I should continue taking it, but I decided to err on the side of caution, as they say.
There you go.
Err on the side of caution?
No, I'm not going with you on that one.
Half credit.
Whatever the case is, I'm feeling better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? All things considered, there's been other things going on this week that
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
All this video game news.
It has been a crazy
paying
week. Let me tell you.
Crazy week.
I mean, an attempted crazy week, but still a crazy week.
Talk about some video game news.
What's going on?
Hop right in
the world of video games. CJ.
I don't know if you've seen this very important news story. Epic Games has bought a shopping mall for its new headquarters.
How were they able to find an empty shopping mall?
I know, right?
To purchase.
Here's the thing, though. I hope they keep the former names of some of those stores as like the names of conference rooms for those areas.
That would be great.
I got a meeting at 3:00 at Claire's Boutique.
Yeah.
Suncoast.
I'll meet you at 3 at Suncoast.
Meet you at Spencer's Gifts.
Oh man.
Like that would
they
be the
should.
best.
You know what? If they don't, it's
good.
a huge missed opportunity.
Absolutely.
Especially since we know they all listen to this show.
And then like the Fortnite team obviously is a big team. You have them be in one of the anchor stores, so you call them JCPenney.
Of course.
Right? Wouldn't that be great? That would be great. If I were in charge of Epic, I am not in charge of Epic, but if I were, I would push so hard.
This might be the reason why you're not in charge of Epic, because this is like your big idea for the company.
Yeah.
You should really call one of the conference rooms Monkey Wards.
Monkey Wards.
No, I don't have any idea for promotions in the game, but I think
we should
Monkey
call this
Wards.
hallway Electric Avenue.
That was the electronics department at Montgomery Wards, everyone.
Was it?
Yeah, nobody. First of all, Monkey Wards is the
Slang.
nickname for Montgomery Wards, which is a long
term. This is not. I don't know any of this stuff.
Long defunct mall anchor store chain, and I don't know. Was Monkey Wards? I mean, certainly in the Midwest, in the Chicagoland area.
Oh, big thing. Yeah,
everyone called it Monkey Wards. I don't know if that was a nationwide. Was Montgomery Wards even a nationwide?
I don't even
chain?
think it was nationwide. No. I think it was Midwest.
Their electronics department was called Electric Avenue because you know what? It was the 80s.
It was the 80s, and it was time for Electric Avenue.
Guess what song they
It's a
played
great song.
during the commercials?
And I bet you'll never be able to guess.
Night Swimming by REM.
We Built This City by Jefferson Starship. One of CJ's perennial favorites.
I love Starship. I
I
love
know
just
you-
Starship, not Jefferson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
wait,
It's,
wait,
that's
yeah.
right. It's just Starship.
CJ liked
That's
it
right.
before they were
Starship.
Jefferson Starship.
That's right. Because they were Jefferson Airplane,
Yeah.
then Jefferson Starship,
And then Starship.
and then
just
Starship did We Built This City. I'm sorry.
That's correct. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
yeah, it was
They're
always weird how they
knee-deep
kept
in the
changing their
hoopla.
name.
Knee
Deep in the hoopla.
That's the name of that album.
Marconi plays the
That's
mamba.
that's the first line of one of the
Listen to
one of
the
verses.
radio.
Or the first song of it. Yeah.
It absolutely is. And I did see them in concert. Not the
Of course you
original
did.
lineup. Not the original lineup. Not even the original Starship lineup. Like,
Oh really?
yeah, it was like, I don't know,
Did
the
they play We
drummer
Built
was
This
the
City?
same. They of course played We Built This City.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what else would they play?
Did
What else
they-
would they play? That song from Mannequin.
That was the
yeah.
whole concert.
During the encore? Did they play We Built This City a second time?
I think they did.
That doesn't
actually.
rhyme at all.
I think they
I
did.
bet
This
they
city
did.
a second time.
I think they did.
Yeah.
But it was a great show.
Excellent.
Anyway, but
Uh-huh.
Epic's buying them all
Epic
'Cause-
is buying them all.
because nobody else is buying malls these days.
Right.
So in Cary, North Carolina, they have the Carytown Center,
Okay.
which they will turn into their new campus by 2024. So they got surface area for 980,000 square feet.
Jeez Louise.
And then
Look
what
at
they're going to
this.
have is what we have. So my office is in a mall. And of course, you get the endless number of people going through and like staring in the
Oh,
window to
really?
see what we sell. And like if they can get into the door, they're
Yeah.
asking reception like what we sell here. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Greg,
Did you know
what's
in
that?
the late 90s, GameSpot, video game
Yeah.
website, GameSpot.
Yeah.
They had an office on, I think it was Clement
And everyone
Street
thought it was a
in
GameStop.
San Francisco.
Yeah, that would be confusing.
And it was sandwiched between other actual store, like retail stores.
Right. There's like Auntie Anne right next door and Gloria
even
Jean's
that.
coffee.
Not even that, because it's
Oh,
San
no?
Francisco. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
it's like local businesses, right?
Right, right.
But just kind of in there, and people would just walk in.
Oh.
Yeah, and say,
Oh.
what are you selling?
They really should have locked the door.
Yeah.
They probably should. Probably
Is
should.
that a thing people do? Just randomly walk into doors and just so what are you
Well, I mean,
selling
you're in a-
here?
You're in a mall. So, I mean, it's not weird to think, because normally
Yes.
offices
Well, you're in a
entrances
mall.
aren't in a mall.
GameSpot was in? It was a yeah. It could have been a business like a
But it was
tax
like it was like
prep
a
business.
it was like
or
a downtown building.
No,
Right,
it was
no.
like in that area, like where Greg Ford lived, where Seward lived.
Oh, yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah,
in one of
yeah,
those areas.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't downtown San Francisco.
It's really
Right,
that's
okay,
really
obvious.
descriptive for all of our listeners. But yeah, no,
not,
I mean,
not downtown, still in the city, but away
Right, right.
from
Oh,
downtown.
over
Right.
west of downtown.
next to the Toys R Us. We live down the
Exactly.
block from a
Exactly.
Toys R Us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. The San Francisco Toys R Us.
And
Yeah.
Japantown.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we were
Japantown's
really
right
close
there.
to Japantown. That was pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. Greg,
Hmm.
you used to live in North Carolina, right?
I did. I
The
actually
company,
lived where I believe where Epic was, which was the Raleigh Durham area.
the mall.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. The Research Triangle Park is,
Yeah?
I believe, where Epic was, and that's where Vicious Cycle was.
Okay.
And I believe that's where
Isn't
Limited
that-
Run
Limited Run is there now, right?
I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
What's is North Carolina turning into some sort of weird little?
They've been that way for a
They've
while.
been that way
There's
for a
an
while.
Insomniac
Is
team
that-
there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Insomniacs. They have a team
Yeah.
there.
There is
I
a
did not
team
know
from
that.
Insomniac in North
There's
Carolina.
I think
Yeah,
there's a
that's
pretty
crazy.
big tech industry there. There has
Huh.
been for quite a while.
because tax breaks.
Oh, is okay. That makes
That's the
sense.
same reason it happens in a lot of places that aren't
Tax breaks.
a central hub otherwise. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's why they make a lot of movies in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Tax
Same reason why they make
breaks.
a lot of movies in various parts of
Vancouver.
Canada.
Yeah,
Vancouver, Quebec,
obviously a big
Ontario.
one, yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yes, indeed. Other big news: Nintendo is finally on the acquisitions game. They finally
Oh yeah.
gone crazy and said it's enough. You know, Sony buying Insomniac, Microsoft buying all those studios. That's enough. It ends here. We're buying next level games.
They bought Next Level,
That's awesome.
which is
Speaking of
which
Canada,
is great. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They're just
they're British
across
Columbia,
the
right?
border here. Yeah.
Indeed. Makers
awesome.
of Luigi's Mansion
They've
3.
been doing great Nintendo games for a long time.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Punch Out on the Wii.
Yeah.
Mario Strikers.
Mario
The
Strikers
less
was
liked
good.
Metroid Federation Force.
Oh yeah, they did that, didn't
They
they?
can't all be winners.
But yeah,
As
I mean,
someone
like,
who's never shipped a winner, they can't all be winners.
well,
I
they
mean,
they
Federation.
they
Here, controversial hot take.
what's that?
Hot take.
What's that? What's that?
It's not really a hot take
Feder-
if the game's like 5 years
Federation
old.
Force 5-year-old game.
Yeah,
Not bad.
not bad. Not bad.
I never
Not
thought. I don't think the.
I've never played it, so I
don't think
can't
it was
say.
that it was bad so much as it was something nobody was asking for.
Exactly. It was the Metroid game no one wanted. They
Yeah,
wanted
it wasn't the
something
Metroid game
different.
everyone wanted. That was the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but I mean, the Mario Strikers games are fantastic.
Hmm.
Luigi's
Did they do the
Mansion-
baseball games as well? I don't think so.
I don't think they did the baseball games.
That Mario baseball game on the Wii, I
Yeah,
believe, that's really good.
is it good?
You don't have to be a baseball fan to like that game.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not a soccer fan, and I loved the Strikers
Mario
games.
They did Soccer Slam, right? They did Sega Soccer Slam. Was that them as well?
Oh, they
I
might
don't
have.
think so. No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think
No?
that was
Oh, that was
visual
it.
concept.
Because it was a similar game.
No, Mario Strikers was great, and I loved the art style. I could not believe Nintendo let them get away with that art style
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the Strikers games. That kind of like sketchy, kind of raw look to it. It was
Soccer,
great.
Soccer Slam was EA Black Box and Visual Concepts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And their Punch Out game was great. Luigi's Mansion
Yes.
2 and 3,
Yes.
fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
So-
So good.
So I'm happy that now they made it official.
Yeah.
Nintendo put a ring on it.
They
And
did.
Isn't it funny?
That
Nintendo's
is pretty funny.
acquiring a company,
Oh.
and we're sitting here talking about how happy we are for them, and
Yeah.
this is great news, and blah blah blah. EA acquires Codemasters, and all we can talk about is, so how long do you think Codemasters has?
Well, I mean, do we expect Nintendo to just shut down?
No, not at all.
Yeah, well, that's just it.
No, I'm not saying it's a double standard or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, wow, the reputation is just
Oh yeah.
really
I mean,
well earned.
has EA bought a studio that still exists?
Axis.
Okay. Wait,
Maxis. Yeah.
do they still exist?
I believe so.
Do they?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're the same as they were when they were bought.
Right.
Okay, that's one example.
with a
I'm
with an
sure there
asterisk.
are more, but yeah.
I mean, they also buy studios, and then it ends up the future of that studio is nothing like what came before it. Like in
Right,
the
right,
instance
yeah.
of PopCap.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So
I still remember Jeff Green. Because didn't he work at EA? And then
Oh, yeah.
he left and went to PopCap, and he was so openly happy
Yeah.
about,
Yes.
like on social media about the fact that he'd escaped EA and he was working at PopCap now. And then what was it, like a year later or less?
Yeah.
that EA bought PopCap.
that was ridiculous.
I might have the
Ugh.
timeline wrong, but it was hilarious.
It was.
Yes. I think we should also talk about this limited run games. Speaking of North Carolina,
Oh,
All
here
that.
we go. Yeah.
the Scott Pilgrim game, of course, comes out this week on
It
Thursday.
certainly does.
But limited run is going to put out a physical edition of the game
Mhm.
in quite a few flavors. You have a lot of options from limited run if you want
Oh,
Scott
my
Pilgrim
goodness.
game related merch.
Oh my goodness.
You can get pretty much exactly whatever you want from
I
this.
don't know if you guys know this. I enjoyed the Scott Pilgrim game when it
I've
came out a few
heard.
years ago.
Yeah, I've heard of
And
Sure.
I'm delighted it's coming out digitally on my birthday. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Not everyone turns 50 every year.
I'm not quite there yet. Although that joke's gonna be less funny in a couple years. 46. 46.
that. Whoa.
46 I will be.
Whoa.
In
God,
just
that means
a
I'm almost
s-
45.
Scant few days.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Remember when
oh,
we started the show? We were all in our 30s. That was funny.
Jeez.
All right.
But no, I'm super excited. Yeah. Switch and PS4.
Yep.
Xbox version coming later, they've said.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can get the bare bones version. You can get a there's like a mid-tier version, and then there is the giant $140 version that comes with just
Yeah.
a stupid amount of crap.
I wonder
got-
what the reasoning is for no Xbox version now.
Isn't there something weird
I-
about publishing on Xbox?
I think there is some sort of weirdness
like
with
an extra hurdle you have to jump.
Yeah, I believe
really?
so.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought I
But they,
saw
I
the
mean, it's not like these things are ready to ship now, right? I mean, you order it and it's
Right.
a 6-week pre-order.
Oh, is
Yeah.
the game coming out digitally on Xbox this week as well?
I do
I
not
don't
know
know.
this.
Yeah, see,
I
that's
don't know.
I do
that's
not
what
know
I
the
was
answer to
assuming.
this.
Sorry, I was assuming
Yeah.
that it wasn't coming out digitally.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird that we
we
don't
should
know,
do a little
right?
bit of research in this show.
Eh,
Usually
It's
count on
weird that
CJ. CJ, you've really failed us tonight.
yeah.
I'm sorry. It's weird specifically that Phil does not know, since he knows
That's
everything
true.
about.
You would expect
I don't
Phil
care.
to
I'm
know.
getting-
Scott
I'm getting
Pilgrim
the-
game.
I'm getting the Switch version. What do I care?
You're only getting Switch? You're not gonna dip into
Okay. I'm
we
gonna
go.
buy it. I'm gonna buy it digitally on Switch
uh-huh.
on my birthday.
What if it's got performance issues on Switch? It
I
won't.
can't imagine it's gonna have
It
performance.
won't.
It's a 10-year-old game, right?
You're right. You're
It's
right.
just an 8-bit game, CJ.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
it's
you're
a classic 8-bit NES style game. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll probably buy
Um,
it on Switch too.
I will be buying it physically on Switch, and I'll probably crack and buy a physical PS4 version as well, just because I'm there placing an order. I'm gonna get the giant stupid edition for Switch, and I'll probably just buy the bare bones for PS4. But and then
Okay.
I'll probably get it on. Is it coming out on Steam?
I have to
I would-
imagine.
I would imagine it is.
Wait,
I'll get
do
it.
Ubisoft games come out on Steam or do they come out on Epic?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably get it on
Oh.
PC too,
Okay,
whichever
one of those.
distribution method they use. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, we all kind of knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Limited Run has been hinting
Yeah.
at it forever.
I was gonna say your bankruptcy at the hands of Limited Run.
There's that.
We all knew that was
certainly.
coming too.
Yeah.
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 We really got to get your 6-year-old son to talk, or 8-year-old, sorry.
Yeah.
Son to talk to
Coming-
you about
coming up on
fiscal
9.
responsibility.
I know, right?
Clearly.
Yeesh.
You don't really. You just make like a GIF. You don't really need that, Dad. Just have that
I
on your
might
phone.
I might even get
Play
the,
the video
giant.
yourself.
I might even get the giant pin collection that they're bringing out, because they're selling
Oh,
the
yeah.
like little enamel pins of there's character sprites of like all the characters
Jesus.
in the game.
Plus, they've got like T-shirts and hoodies and Switch cases and all kinds of
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they're going nuts
Got
with it.
Everything you could want.
Well, given
And, it's great. It's great that they're doing this. All this stuff
Yeah.
is really great.
given how often people have been bugging them about this for years,
Yeah.
it's probably smart of them to go all out. And
Yeah.
thank goodness that Limited Run has in recent years started having open pre-orders
Right.
for stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't have
I
to
agree.
sit there and
Yeah.
F5 at like 7 a.m. and pray that
Yeah.
I get it in my cart and get checked out before all the scalper bots get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to have that. Like,
Is this Ubisoft's first foray into a sort of small batch physical edition of
know.
something? I'd have to think it
I have
is.
no
I don't
idea.
know.
But it's cool.
no-
It's cool that they're doing it.
Yep, I'm very excited.
Very excited about it.
Very, very excited.
And then the game comes out on Thursday.
Digitally. The pre-orders go up on Friday for the
That's
limited
right.
run.
The limited run pre-order. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like a 6-week.
But yeah, I
period, or
believe it's a 6-week, so you have
you have time.
time.
Alrighty. How about we get into what you've been playing, Greg? Why don't you kick us off?
This is going to be real short, but yeah, so I actually guessed guest on a podcast today. It was recorded today. It will be released later this week on a show called Games My Mom Found, which is a retro game podcast where they take one game and talk about it over the course of a full episode, a little over an hour. Due to all my technical difficulties, it was about a 2-hour session. So, but yeah, anyway, the game we covered was Robotech Battle Cry, which I'm sad to report is 18 years old.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
My goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, so I grabbed that and I was playing it earlier this week. And unfortunately, it is not a game that's backwards compatible on the Series X.
Yeah.
It is backwards compatible in the 360. It was originally came out in the Xbox and PlayStation 2 generation. It was backwards compatible in the 360, but it's never been made, BC further than that. So because I'm sort of still putting together my game room downstairs, I had moved the Xbox down there, and it gave me an excuse to get it hooked up to the big CRT Vega, however you call it, whatever you say that name, down there, and I played it on my CRT.
Nice.
Cool.
And boy, does it ever look nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, CRTs had a way of softening the image, right?
Oh well,
So,
yeah, of
that's
course.
true.
And I mean, it was clearly made to be played on that technology. And you remember that game was all cell shaded to look.
Yeah, it did
try
look
to
great
like a
anyway.
cartoon, and it was it's actually held up really well for the most part. The cell shading on the main mecha has held up really well. The game's hit or miss. It definitely suffers from, and I don't want to go too into detail because I think people should go listen to the episode, but it definitely suffers from the fact that, our standards for interfacing with a 3D shooter our control standards are so different now. Well, we actually have some.
Right.
Back then we really didn't, right? Like everyone was still finding their way. And with that game, of course, where it's based on the Macross saga, you're flying the Valkyrie fighters, which have a fighter mode, a guardian mode, which is basically a plane with arms and legs, and then the Battloid mode, which you're a giant robot. And so the big idea of that game was that you could transform into any of those three modes whenever you wanted, but it led to some weird control issues where you're using, like, when you're in guardian mode, you're like, if you push up on the D-pad you hover forward, and if you push down on the D-pad you hover back, but if you push left or right on the D-pad you transform into one of the other two modes. And you can use thrust, and if you pull up or down on the left stick you rise or you raise or you ascend or descend is what I'm trying to say. The right stick locks on to different targets that are in your view. It doesn't turn the thing. And it's the same thing with the Battloid mode. So, like, if somebody's behind you, you have to slowly turn, and there's no, like, quick turn. So, and it's I'm making this sound like the game's terrible. It's not. It's just from a completely different era. And it really, stuff like that really shows its age when you get the controller in your hand. And I was wrestling with the controls a lot because of that, because I'm flying around or I'm running around as a Battloid, and there's somebody behind me. So I just want to do a quick turn and shoot. So I kept moving the right stick to try to do that, but it's not. All movement is, mapped to the left stick, and then strafing is the L and R buttons instead of shooting, which is so weird now. You use face buttons to shoot things in a video game. It doesn't feel right at all. And of course, with the old Xbox controller, you've got that weird black and white button that's part of the mix as well. But anyway, it was still a lot of fun to go back and try it out, and when you get past that, it was a good game. And it was fun for me because really that was the game that kind of launched my game development career, because that was where I met, speaking of Vicious Cycle in North Carolina, that's who created that game. And that's where I met the people running that company, Eric Peterson and Mark Racine and Harvey. And so when I was deported from the United States, and from Ziff Davis,
tell us why.
Because I was an uneducated fool. That's really the reason I had to leave. I
Oh.
didn't have a college degree.
Yeah.
And I started looking for game development jobs. I actually wasn't calling them, but I kept in touch with Eric because we nerded out about Robotech together when I covered the game for EGM. It was like a 4-page preview. It was exclusive preview, which was awesome. So I'd sort of stayed friendly with him. And when I was talking about I was looking for a job again, he's like, well, have you ever thought of game development? And I was like, I mean, I've thought about it, but
Well,
like, why don't you come down here and make the Robotech sequel with us? And that was kind of what launched my game
That's
development
awesome.
career.
that's
So,
pretty cool.
yeah, so it was fun to sit and talk with the guys over there on games my mom found about that game at length,
Nice.
and to sort of nerd out about Robotech. So I highly recommend. I recommend the podcast. It's fun,
Yeah.
and yeah, that episode will be published this week.
And I will
Awesome.
link to that in the show notes. Question mark. I mean,
Yes.
I'll link to whatever their show site is, so that you
Yeah,
can,
it won't be
add
out
them.
by the time we publish this, but it'll be coming.
I'll tweet out the episode on the Player One.
Word.
There you go.
Excellent. All right, Phil,
Yeah.
what you got?
Oh,
for
well,
us?
I'll start with the smaller stuff. Played a little Tetris 99 over the weekend. I booted that up again because they had a
New
new
skin?
theme. Yeah, a new skin
Kirby.
you could earn. Yeah, another Kirby skin. So had to get that. And Tetris 99. Still fun. Still
Heck
great.
yeah.
Still better than Mario 35.
Oh, easily. Come on. It's not even a
True.
contest. I'm still okay. I'm still pretty good at Tetris 99.
Yeah.
The best I did was 7th, which I got 7th twice during this particular bout to get this, but it's weird. I will vary significantly in my matches. Like one match I'll come in like 10th, and then I'll come in and then I'll have a terrible round and come in like 78th, and then I will come in like
That's usually where I end up.
7th again. So I don't know what it is. I don't know why I vary given my skill level so broadly, but played a few rounds, got it unlocked. I was very, very pleased with myself. Justin, who I work with, my pal Justin from work, who is exceptionally good at Tetris and Tetris 99. He unlocked the skin in one try.
By getting a Tetris Maximus.
He came in first, which earns you 100 points, which instantly unlocks the skin. So
Yeah.
I need to just throw him a few bucks and have him log onto my account and
Exactly.
and get that
this
stuff for me.
Yeah.
But I also not a game, but game adjacent. I have been putting together a model, a 1/12
Right.
scale model of a Taiko no Tatsujin arcade machine, which is coming along quite well.
You've been posting updates on Twitter, and it looks great.
It's beautiful looking. I absolutely hate building models.
So funny.
Which is weird because you like building Lego.
Well, I think I figured out
Lego and building models are different things.
it really is. When I haven't built many models. Like I built a couple when I was a kid. Like me and my dad put together a few.
Yeah.
And the only models I've put together as an adult are last year, about this time, actually exactly this time last year, I put together a Transformer model. It's obviously it doesn't transform. It's just a model of one of the characters, Skywarp, the best seeker. And
You're not going to get an argument on that.
thank you. And it was a pain in the ass, and I hated every moment of putting it together, but I ended up with a really cool figure for my little Skywarp collection display case. So I did what had to be done.
Sure.
And this is another one of those. I'm doing what has to be done because I want a 6-inch scale Taiko machine to have on my shelf, and I can pose action figures with it, and it'll look stupid and funny, and I will be amused by it. And I love Taiko no Tatsujin. But yeah, before I started building the model, I did throw out a tweet saying how much I hated models, and I wasn't really sure why. And I made, like you said, CJ, I made the Lego connection. I love Lego.
Yep.
I love putting Lego kits together. It relaxes me. It's soothing. Whereas putting together a model kit, I am just constantly tensed. You know, it is stressful. Every moment of it is stressful for me. And these are not even difficult models. You know, it's not like I'm not painting anything because everything's molded in the color plastic that it's supposed to be. Now, if I was
pretty nice.
Oh, it is. I mean,
you'd still paint that if you were hardcore.
Oh, if I was hardcore, yeah, because it does, and I get it. It looks, even if it's molded a certain color, if you paint over it with, even if it's the same color, it's going to look nicer.
Oh yeah.
But I got no time for that.
I don't.
No. But I hate having to snip everything off the sprues. I hate having to go in there with an X-Acto knife and shave away the little sprue remnants.
I used to love all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't deal with it. And everything is so tiny and fragile. And you have like the little pins that go into the holes. And if you like hold it even slightly askew, that teeny little pin that's like 2 millimeters long is going to snap off. And the whole thing's ruined. I mean, well, and you know what's terrible is I opened the thing up, and right out of the box, one of the little pins on one of the side panels was just broken off.
No.
I had it broken off just bouncing around inside. So I had to get some glue. I had to get some model glue and actually, and then you're dealing with model glue getting everywhere and it's leaking out through the seams, and you're trying to like
model glue isn't really that messy.
Get it?
You're just not good at it.
Well, no, of course I'm not. Of course I'm not. But it's just a pain in the ass. And then so they're fragile, and it's like, Lego bricks, they're not fragile. You could throw a Lego brick through a wood chipper and it's coming out a little scuffed.
Right.
And even if you did manage to somehow break a Lego brick,
you can buy another one.
Absolutely. For you go on Bricklink, pay 5 cents, and someone will ship you one. Or you could send Lego an email and say, "Hey, I broke one of your bricks," and they just send it to you for free. And then you got to deal with, the labels or the decals or whatever they use.
The decals on this thing, because I was looking at the pictures that I can't believe we're spending so much time talking about this, but
I know. They're stickers. They're not the
they're
water
stickers.
decals.
They're not like the water ones. Okay.
Right. Because that
sounds awful.
The water ones, I can't imagine doing those. I think I would have just ripped those to shreds. Really?
Although, just like with what you're dealing with, the smaller they are, the worse it is.
Yeah.
But with those, like, if you get the piece of the backing wet enough, they will just slide right off.
Oh, really?
And so it's kind of easier to place them where you want. And the nice thing is that as long as you don't let them start to dry, you can move them around on the surface until it's where you want it to be, and then
that's
you let it
nice.
dry.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, these are all stickers, so it is just,
or at least that's what it was like 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what it is now? But I'm very close to getting it done, and it looks great so far. I still have some of like these tiny little trim stickers that are like a millimeter wide, and I'm just holding my breath as I put them on there, because if I exhale too hard, it'll just snap them in half. And
hilarious.
Stress. I'm an old man. My heart cannot handle this kind of crap.
Okay. Speaking
of old men.
What?
Well, not you specifically, Greg.
Well, I mean, all three of us, let's be honest.
I started playing God of War.
The
new one. The new
Data Boy.
Yes.
Data Boy.
God, is that game 4 years old?
Apparently.
Or was it 2018? I don't know.
I don't know.
I was going to say, I don't think it's that
Maybe
old.
it's 2018.
But it's on...
It's older. It's older than a year.
It's on what, PS Plus?
No,
Is
it's
it
on
PS Now? Is it PS Now?
the collection, right? So if you have PS Plus and you bought a PS5, you have the
Yes,
availability
that's
of
what
like
it
a
is.
dozen games, and one of them
Right.
is God of
One
War.
of them is God of War. So I downloaded God of War.
Yeah.
And I've started playing God of War, which I did not play back when it came out because, well, mainly because I tend to kind of bounce off God of War games. Like I've
but this
tried.
is nothing like the other
Well,
ones.
that's just it. And you know, my history with the series is what kind of kept me from it, because I've always played the God of War games and I've always enjoyed them for like the first like 4 hours, and then I just kind of got sick of them and stopped playing them. But which is why I never played the new one, despite having heard nothing but good things about it, despite knowing that it's nothing like those games.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I finished up Miles, and I was like, what should I play on my PS5? And it's like, hey, you know what? This might be the time to give God of War a try. So
Sure.
I started that up. Have you guys played through this game?
No, I didn't
Not
like it.
through it.
You didn't. Oh, Greg
Because
didn't like it.
Greg didn't like it. It gave me motion sickness.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So even with a lot of the things, because this game sort of has those accessibility options that The Last of Us does, where you can turn off a lot of things to help with motion sickness. It didn't work.
Oh,
It didn't
really?
work. And I think
wow.
part of it is just the distance, because it's a third-person game, right?
Right.
The distance of the camera from Kratos and the way it moves around Kratos when you are in action it's the same thing that makes me sick with the RE2 remake and the RE3 remake. And I also can't play Devil May Cry.
Right.
Because I'm not really interested in Devil May Cry. But it also gives me motion sickness, sadly.
Okay.
So
and how far did you play into it, Greg?
A few hours. I couldn't tell you exactly where my stopping point was. And I mean, it's a good game.
Right.
It's a really good game.
Yeah,
I wanted
good.
old school God of War. That's,
okay.
When I turned it on, and I even knowing that it wasn't the case, that's what I realized I wanted, and I just
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not terribly far in it. Spoilers for a 4-year-old game, I guess.
It's like 2 years old. It came out the same year as Spider-Man.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, Marvel Spider-Man, or at least 1 year difference, maybe. But yeah.
Well, I'm working my way up the mountain with my kid. Was a name?
I don't think anybody's going to know where
Atreyu.
you are. Atreyu.
Whatever his name is.
Let's go with that.
And no, I just got to a part where I killed a bunch of dudes and they came back to life, and I had to kill them again. And you're kind of real. Oh, these guys are coming back to life for some reason. And Atreyu just killed his first. He killed someone for the first time, and he was having a little panic attack about it.
I did see that. Yeah.
And Kratos is like, you gotta push the anger down in your belly, boy. He's trying to get his kid to man up. So that's about where I am right now. So it's pretty early in the game. Seems pretty good so far.
That's a really good game.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get all the way through it. I'm maybe this is just having come off of Miles though, but I'm finding myself every time I get into a fight, I have to readjust to using the triggers to attack, because I'm trying to hit the face buttons to swing my axe and everything like that.
I think that was that's the reason I think it came out the same year as Spider-Man, because I remember it winning Game of the Year in the Game Awards over Spider-Man. It was winning all the awards I wanted Spider-Man to win that year.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's pretty good so far. So
cool.
I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I can finish it by Thursday when Scott Pilgrim comes out, and that's all I ever play for the next couple months.
The end of.
So you're gonna get your map of Toronto?
Yes.
Toronto, Canada.
Yes. Which is one of the items you get in
that's what I mean.
In the limited run thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that is what I have been playing / building.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I have been playing because Greg, you mentioned this game on the show. I downloaded Wilmot's Warehouse.
Okay.
On the Xbox and started playing that. wow, that game's addictive for one.
Right?
I sat
like-
down, started
was it
playing
like-
it.
Like Voxel or something?
No,
No, it is not.
it looks like
is
it should be, but
basically
it's not.
like an organization game where you have sort of a top-down view and you're organizing boxes
warehouse.
that are just icons. What?
But the key thing, Phil. Yeah, I realized you weren't here last week when we were talking
I
about
was
this.
not.
Yeah.
The key thing about it is that it basically just like it's all simple icon based graphics.
Yes.
But the
very
thing is
simple.
that like you decide how everything's organized. There's no names on anything, and there's
Yeah.
no
names.
right way to do it. So you have to organize things within a certain time limit, and then people will come to the counter and ask for certain items. So you need to know
Ah.
where you put them.
Yeah, so you have a sort of putting away phase and a delivering phase
Okay.
in there as well. And then after every 3 rounds, it gives you like an unlimited amount of time to just take stock. You can arrange things as much
Yes.
as you
Okay.
want before you start the next one.
Nice.
So I played that a little while, and then the next day, my daughter wanted to play a game, wanted to play a co-op game. So I said, "Hey, Wilmot's Warehouse has co-op. It has a 2-player mode."
That is true.
And then I handed the controller to my daughter and my wife and said, "Have fun."
Daddy's going out
And-
for a pack of smokes.
No.
I was gonna say,
Because-
did they?
And then I watched them play Wilmot's Warehouse, and it was pretty hilarious because my daughter, who is 9,
Are they speaking
has
to each other anymore?
absolutely has absolutely no organization system or skills
That's great.
to speak of. And my wife is a very organized person, much more organized than I am. And just watching them run this warehouse and deliver these icons to the top, it was very humorous. I don't think I could have played with my daughter without getting upset quite a
That's
bit.
hilarious.
But it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But they played it for 2 hours.
Oh, jeez.
But that's the
and
thing. It's
They got
easy to
they
pick up
got
and just
really
keep
good.
playing. Yeah.
They got really good. At the end of it, they were delivering stuff super fast. But it took a while to get in the groove of things. And then my daughter tried playing it by herself today, and it just was kind of a crap show. Yeah.
Speaking of that, and I didn't look to see what else you have on this list, but
Uh-huh.
so the my friend who is the one who hipped me to Wilmot's Warehouse, Ryan.
Yeah.
I heard that he played Sea of Thieves with you.
He
Best friend
did.
Mike this week.
That's right. I'm taking more of your friends are becoming my
And-
friends.
And
Ugh.
the best part was he told me, well, I saw him on Friday night and before he was playing and he said that he'd been talking to you. And I was like, oh, yeah. Why? Just because, I don't think
Why
he'd ever
not?
spoken to you before.
What-
and he said,
you
well,
got
I
something
wanted
against
to-
people talking to me?
No, I just didn't know why. And I said, I just asked, like, so what's up? And he said, oh, well, I want to play Sea of Thieves with CJ and Mike. Ryan's a mutual friend of Mike and mine.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I just like, oh, you too, huh? And I drove home. And anyway, later that night, it was hilarious. Out of the blue, he messaged me, and I've got the message in front of me. And all he said was, these guys play this game differently than I've ever played it. And I was like, you are looking at thousands of hours of muscle memory. And he's talked about it with me a few times now, where he's just like, well, it was really lucrative. I think he doubled his gold or something when he was with
He
you.
did.
But yeah, he's just like, they play it in a completely different way than he's ever played it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're looking at efficiency. Like I said, thousands of hours of experience.
It's not only that, though. I mean, I think
It's mostly that.
it's mostly that. There's a way to maximize your gold output that I think a lot of people who play it don't even think about that. And that's a totally valid way of playing Sea of Thieves. Like, you don't need to maximize your gold gain. But if you're going to be playing it for, we played for like 2 hours, why not try to get as much as you can out of that, right? So I think we got him something like 300,000 gold or something like that in that time. Maybe more than that. But but yeah, we doubled his gold intake, which was fun.
Nice.
But you can play on the 3-player ship, and I think Ryan was worried that he wasn't as good as Mike or I am at the game. And that's like with Sea of Thieves, you don't need to worry about that really.
No, I mean, I'm terrible at that game, and I just stay on the ship and let you guys do everything.
Well, there's that. But I mean, there are things you can help with pretty easily or like do that aren't like that you don't need to have like thousands of hours of knowledge of Sea of Thieves to yeah, just saying. But anyway, yeah, I did play Sea of Thieves with Ryan and Mike, and that was a lot of fun. We did we allied up with, so when we started playing, Ryan was like, I want to kill some people. Like I want to be the crew that comes to kill me and then I get so upset at, right? Like, I want to do that to somebody. And then I screwed it up for him and ended up being friendly to another player at the outpost. And I was like, hey, this dude that we met at the outpost was new to the game or newish. And we ended up allying with him and like went to do an event with him. And it was great. We made a friend on the sea. And then we also we had to sink a different crew.
Well, I mean, obviously
satisfy Ryan's bloodlust.
Yes.
I mean, somebody had to be sacrificed, but it was a lot of fun. And that game's fun to just tool around and do various world events in. But anyway, it's a much different game now than it was when it launched. And I still love it. But I also played the demo of Monster Hunter Rise. So this probably
I gotta check my phone.
My 10th attempt to like a Monster Hunter game. I mean, I should like these games. Like it seems like something I would like, right? Because I was way into Phantasy Star Online. I love Dauntless, which is basically Monster Hunter, but a lot more arcadey style controls. And I played a little bit of Monster Hunter World, played with some people on our Discord, some of our listeners, and I did get into Monster Hunter World more than I had any other Monster Hunter game. But I still find some of the aspects of the game frustrating, like not being able to cancel out of attack animation. So you have these huge weapons and you do this very long attack animation. And maybe it's just that I'm not using the right weapons, but you do this animation and you can't cancel out of it. And suddenly the monster has like turned, gone the other way. And now you're just using your huge sword to strike at nothing, right? Like that's just been my hurdle with the Monster Hunter games. And maybe it is that I'm not using the right weapon. But for what it is, Monster Hunter Rise looks great on the Switch. Looks really good. Like I think it maybe doesn't look as good as Monster Hunter World, but it doesn't really need to. It just needs to kind of get the job done. And the monsters themselves look great. They have a new mechanic where you can ride on top of monsters. And I guess that part's not new, but what is new is you can use them to attack other monsters as well. And also like jump off the monsters, make the monster go forward and like do a charge attack on another monster. Like that stuff's new. And they have these sort of grappling hook bugs that will you can attach to anywhere, like in the air or forward. So you have a little bit more mobility in the game as well, which is kind of nice. I'm sure you can use that stuff while fighting a monster, and it probably makes the whole thing a lot quicker. And you can also so there's like a Palico, which is like your buddy character that brings stuff with you on your quest. Now you also have, it's called a Palamute, which is a dog. So the Palico is a cat character. These are sort of iconic characters within the Monster Hunter franchise. Now they're doing a dog character called a Palamute that not only attacks other monsters, but you can ride that dog
you can ride that dog.
You can ride it.
Getting weirder and weirder.
The only
chase,
interesting thing you've said in this conversation.
You can use it to chase other you can chase monsters down with the dog. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. I had fun with it. Capcom is still doing their thing where you only have 30 tries on this demo. You can do 30 quests.
What a weird.
I don't understand.
So weird.
And I mean,
Why
that
they
seems like
do that?
seems like an unnaturally high number too. I mean, who's playing a demo 30 times?
They know the game is so hard to
Well,
get into.
it's
They
not-
don't want people to give up on it after 3
See, here's the
missions.
thing. It's not even you can play the demo 30 times. It's you can accept and go on 30 quests, and that's it.
Okay.
But you can also play this online with other people. So imagine like playing a demo 30 quests. I mean,
But I mean, 30 quests seems like a lot, right?
is it?
I don't know. How long does a quest take?
You're the one who played
Not
it,
that
bro.
long. Not that long.
Like,
No,
what do
not
you,
long.
what do you,
15
like
minutes?
15 minutes
That's a
times
long
30?
time, CJ.
That's
I guess it is.
yeah.
I'm not saying that I would do that.
Okay, those of us who have jobs, that's a long time.
That's like 7 hours.
You're right. Okay.
That's a work day, CJ.
Yeah.
That's a work day.
Just accept all those quests.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean that's a solid demo, right?
Okay. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. And I
And-
never like whenever Capcom did that on the 3DS and Wii U, I never actually like
You know, it's
spent
terrible,
all of those tries.
Is that demo sounds like that's about the length I want the full game to be.
Yes.
Funny.
It's
But
sliver of truth
I don't
in there.
know. I don't know. I got to try some more of the demo. See if I don't know if I really want to jump in on this one. I probably won't. Yeah. Anyway, it was a good demo.
That's time taken away from Sea of Thieving. So
That's very true.
yeah,
They'll be in
Really-
their season 2 by the time this comes out.
you really want to ride that dog, CJ?
I don't really want that. Nope. Don't want to ride the dog.
Ah,
And yeah, that's what I've been playing.
very nice.
So I think that means it's time for tweets.
A tweet.
All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Scoop Jessica, who says, Phil,
Yes.
please
Jessica?
weigh in on the
Oh,
unopened
nice.
email notification discussion. My anxiety has been so high since last week, just thinking 12,000 emails. Yeah. Weigh
So
in
is this
on
a conversation
discussion.
you guys had last
We
week?
did, yeah.
I think it's
feel
very
attacked.
cute.
People who are posting screenshots of the icon on their phone that says 12,000 or near 20,000 unread email
Oh.
messages.
To be fair, I'm
I-
only at 10% of that.
I think it's cute that Scoop Jessica thinks that I listen to episodes of the show that I'm not on.
Which, of course, we talked about on the last episode.
I don't have time
You're
to
the
listen
worst.
to good podcasts. Why would I
Aw.
spend my time listening
Hey
to
now.
Player One?
Hey now.
Goodness gracious. So do one of you guys have a ton of
No.
Greg, you said you do have a backlog of
Like
unread-
1,300.
You have 1,300,
Unopened, yeah.
1,300 unopened,
Mhm.
unread emails.
Yeah.
You are insane. You are a madman.
I
have-
people who
I
have like
don't-
20,000.
I
Yeah.
don't. That's
What does that make them?
well. I mean, you know what? There's a point where it just stops mattering.
That's
And that's
true.
exactly what happened.
There's a
Yeah.
point where it stops mattering. You
And
should
I-
just
I'll point out again.
Well,
mark
Those
everything
emails are
as
not
read.
emails that needed to be opened and read. Those are
You just
emails
mark
that like I
everything
go
as
on
unread.
there and I see, and I'm scanning down the page,
yeah.
and you see the first few lines of the email, right?
Right.
And it's like, okay, I don't need to know what F1 fan voice is sending me, or this LinkedIn update, or this Twitter update, or this eBay update.
Then just mark all as read.
Exactly.
why?
Mark all as
It doesn't bother me.
Just go
It's a-
nuke it.
yeah. No, I mean, because
Doesn't bother me.
it's like 1,000 unread emails or 20,000 unread emails. It's all just a cacophony.
Yeah.
Just it
Just like
doesn't
my life.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know,
That's true.
greater
And
greater
I wanna
numbers
repeat,
after that.
My work email
Uh-huh.
is very organized.
You know how many unread emails I have my Gmail.
Maybe you're not as popular as me.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm not, but then again, my friends aren't all being stolen away by CJ. So,
oh.
Greg, the
They don't
secret-
send me emails.
If you don't want CJ to steal your friends, Greg, just don't have any friends.
Hey,
I
Justin,
figured out the
secret
secret.
small, and CJ still won't
I
leave them.
figured
alone.
Justin
out the
Chang.
secret.
Let's go play Sea of
No!
Thieves. Let's go.
There we
Come
go.
It's all I have left. Ah. Good luck talking Transformers with him. You don't know nothing about Transformers, CJ. He's gonna
You're
get
right, I
bored
don't.
with you. Yeah. He'll come crawling back.
Sure.
He knows
Sure
where
will.
the Lego discussion is. I'm looking at my Gmail right now.
Yeah.
I have one unread email.
One unread.
And the only reason that one is unread is because it is about Finn's upcoming school picture day, and I want to make sure that I add it to my calendar.
Oh, there
So,
you go.
you know.
There you go.
So it's unread to remind me that it is important and needs to be read.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
No, I can't. No. And I'll be honest, even that one, seeing
Even
that
the
one
one
there is
exactly.
like,
Even the one I can't deal with.
And that's the reason why if I have something important, an important email, I leave it unread, or I will read it and then go back and mark it as unread, so that one is always there bugging me.
I do the same.
Yeah.
I do the same.
Yeah.
I hate it when apps like and this used to happen with the PlayStation and Xbox apps where
What's
you
that?
get a message.
Yeah.
And
I can't even.
in the interface, there would be no way to mark it as red. So then you go out of it and it still has the red icon with a 1 by it. It's like,
oh no.
No.
Time
to turn off those little numbers on the icon.
I gotta throw this system away.
It will burn this phone.
It's always gonna have a little notification mark next to it. No, I cannot.
I mean, that frequently happens on both Xbox and PlayStation, where I'll get a message, and even though I opened up the message, it won't mark it as red.
No.
Ugh, terrible.
Nope. Cannot deal with that. Cannot live with that.
All right. Let's do this one.
Yes.
From Hacker Alias, I finally watched, who says, I'm still working my way through old episodes, and it sounds like you all were way into Rock Band and Guitar Hero. When's the last time you broke out the plastic instruments?
It's been some time. It has been some time.
Mine was like a month or two ago. I broke out Rock Band because it's Series X compatible and it loads super fast now, and it is awesome.
You know, I might
when you have 700 DLC songs and you're loading that off of an SSD. Let me tell you, it's fast.
Yeah.
You know what killed Rock Band for me was the last TV I had, because it had such crazy lag.
Oh, really?
Like noticeable lag.
You couldn't play it.
I just couldn't play anymore. I was terrible. Like I wasn't that great anyway, but I was so much worse that I could barely finish a level.
Well, you got to recalibrate it when you change it.
I tried all that. I just couldn't sort it out. But now that the TV I have now has pretty minimal lag, so I might fire that up again. But I was a big fan back before that happened. Played a lot.
Yeah. I'd like to go back and play some more of that. And now I can, because of course it's Series X compatible. And they're still, by the way, releasing 2 songs a week for that
crazy.
game.
It's wild.
That is crazy. Are there songs left?
Yes. Oh, there's plenty of stuff left.
There's songs
There's
left.
plenty left.
Okay.
I mean, people are still making new music too.
How do you figure?
I don't know if you know that.
I don't.
There's new stuff.
Not any good music.
Yeah. All this Cardi B stuff you put on Rock Band, right?
Oh
God.
Is that somebody who performs music?
Is this BTS? Is that
BTS?
A Korean
I know
band?
that reference.
I know that.
Kids are listening to BTS these days, right?
Baby metal.
Yeah.
No,
Baby metal.
metal.
All right. Yeah, that's the extent of our music knowledge. I love when you load up any streaming service and they're like, oh, Saturday Night Live, here's the guest, and it's just nobody you know. Like, you don't know the actor and you don't know the musical guests.
Yeah.
Like, who?
Yeah.
That's somebody I should know the name of? Oh God, I'm old. All right, let's do this one from Acralius. Oh wait, sorry. There was a bonus question.
Oh,
here
a bonus question
that I missed from I Finally Watched. Who said, if there was a new music game based on one band only, who would it be?
BTS.
BTS. There you go.
Clearly. I'm Beatles Rock Band. I
they already
wish
did the
that was
perfect one.
backwards compatible.
They
It
already
is
did.
not.
Like if you had to choose one band to create a rock band game, because I hit the
settle
microphone
down,
there.
Phil.
I'm very animated today.
Listen,
Apparently.
I know you like Green Day. Just relax.
Oh man,
They did that one. They
you
did that one.
have the time
They did
to
it.
listen to me whine?
And I own that one.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're gonna pick one band whose library of songs to base a rock band game around, they already did the best one. They did the perfect. And I'm not claiming, and I love the Beatles. I'm not claiming they're the best band.
No.
But
it was cool to
But their library is probably the best suited for this. Given the number of hits, the number of recognizable songs, the kind of varied styles of the songs that they had throughout the years, they already did the perfect one, right?
I know, but it's not backwards compatible. They'd have to do it again.
What do you? I mean, how do you, like what other band?
Genesis.
Well, we'd want it for a current system, though.
I
did that.
I
mean, what? It'd have to be like some other band that has like a ton of number one hits, right? Something like that.
Genesis.
Yeah.
The Eagles.
Well, that's just it, because then you're looking at like the Eagles or like the Rolling Stones or something like that.
Rolling Stones would be pretty cool,
Guitar Hero,
that
Aerosmith.
actually would.
They did Aerosmith.
Well, they did Aerosmith, and they did do Green Day.
They did AC/DC.
Yeah, they did Green Day.
They did Green Day. Yeah.
Did they do AC/DC? I forgot about that.
They did. Yeah.
They already did Crisscross and Marky Mark. There's In Excess.
No, they didn't.
DNC, Music Factory. Scotty.
They're also putting out a lot of
Prince would be a good one.
Oh, Prince would be a good one.
Yes.
Really good.
Yeah, that would. That's right.
Especially because his library was so varied.
I cannot imagine
vast
his
and
estate would allow that though.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But they put out songs for Rock Band still, and they also do Fuser tracks every week. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Fuser a really good game, but kind of came out at the wrong point where a lot of people were playing next gen stuff. So come out on that day, maybe you're gonna have a little bit of difficulty finding an audience. So anyway, let's do this one. Hacker alias GCA Farley, who says, which of the failed consoles of the Jaguar 3DO 32X Sega CD era did you think had a real shot of success at the time? And Phil must answer with his young Obi-Wan voice.
Well, if you're looking for a system that could succeed in the time of 32-bit and 64-bit, certainly you'd want to look at the ones that had the most games about Star Wars, which I suppose would lead you to the Sega CD, I suppose. You had Star Wars Chess, certainly an intellectual game, far more civilized than what you might be used to. And then, of course, Star Wars Rebel Assault, full motion video experience that put you in the movies. I mean, certainly the 32X had its version of Star Wars, which was quite exciting for the time, but far too primitive to be enjoyed today. The Jaguar. What are we looking at there? You'd have to be high on LSD to enjoy those games. Everyone in the council can see it. Why can't you?
There you go.
What? You know what? I will be perfectly honest.
By the way, let me just preface this. James Farley, who's on the computer game show TCGS, great podcast, by the way, asked me. We were chatting over Twitter, and he asked me when will Phil do the young Obi-Wan voice again? And I was like, I don't know if we can just get him to do it, but if you send in a question,
so CJ just pulled those strings.
I was
Dance
like,
monkey.
But if you send in a question and say at the end of it that Phil has to do it in the Obi-Wan voice, he'll do it. Yes, I knew it.
How?
You know, you got to hand it to CJ because we pick on him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But when he wants something done, he gets it done. He has more control over us than I think we want to admit to ourselves.
Now, if young Obi-Wan sounded like Bane, I think it would go a little something Can't even.
Yeah.
Um.
Anyway, was that your real answer there, Sega CD?
Well, I was kind of bouncing around. I was just doing Star Wars
bouncing around.
shtick. Back in the day,
I
mean,
know your answer.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, of those four, I was a fan of the Sega CD. You know,
Sure.
The Sega CD gets picked on these days because full from video games and stuff like that. But I loved the Sega CD back in the day.
I think,
Me too.
And I talked about this in the Laser Active episode a lot, but I think it's really hard to, especially if you weren't there. Yeah, the full motion video games now are a joke. You look back on them and they were a joke. They weren't then.
No, at the time,
No,
like they you know, we all knew they were B movie level. Don't get me wrong. We didn't play them and think, oh my god, these are amazing. No, we knew we were getting B movie level acting and stories, but the technology was huge. It was a big deal.
Night Trap was schlock, and we knew it was schlock, but it was amazing schlock because we had never seen a game like that on a home system before.
Exactly.
And it was mind-blowing.
And I mean, it had been quite a while since a lot of us had seen anything like that in an arcade. I mean,
That's
we all
also
remember
true,
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Space Ace, and there were other
but
other Laserdisc games, but it had been since the early 80s. It had been almost a decade since we've really seen anything.
Yeah, and oh my god, at the launch of the Sega CD, those were the games that I want, like Night Trap and Cobra Command. Those were the games I wanted.
Oh yeah,
well, those
same here.
games you couldn't get at home. You couldn't get them anywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, you could get them on the TurboGraphics CD.
I mean, I played the hell out of Night Trap.
Me
I
too.
played the hell out of Cobra Command. I played the hell out of Road Avenger.
Road Avenger. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm gonna
Oh my god. But in all honesty, like when you look at it from that standpoint, like that list of systems that you called out there, and I mean, I'm a big Sega fan, so of course I'm going to say Sega CD. But when you really think about it, it's like the Genesis was quite popular when the Sega CD came out.
Right.
Yep.
So it wasn't weird to think that it could be very successful.
No. Sure.
And the 3DO, had it not had that massive price tag, I thought that was going to be pretty successful too. Except it was over. It was like $1,000 here.
Yeah. Jaguar.
And then when you played
like
it was
700
like these aren't
at
great games, but
in the US or something.
700 in the US. Yeah.
Jaguar was always a joke.
No, from the second that was announced.
Yeah.
At least I felt like. I thought it was
liked it.
interesting, but I was like, it's not even gonna be a blip on the radar.
No, it was, just talking about which ones of these did you think had a real shot at success? No, Jaguar. Was
I think at the
dead
time
out
I
of the
thought
gate.
it did.
And then especially after I played
Game Fan reviews.
I read Game Fan, right?
And especially after when I finally got my hands on one, and it was like Cybermorph was terrible.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. Alien versus Predator was not good. It was a good concept, and it was a good looking game in screenshots. But when you played it, the frame rate was so bad.
Well, it was one of the few games that was even remotely competent on that system.
Yeah.
But then the rest of their announced library was just garbage.
Good.
You had Tempest, and that was it.
And then it was like checkered flag or whatever it was in pole position.
Checkered flag.
And then of course Tempest 2000 hit, so then you had Defender 2000, which was terrible.
Of course.
So and then the 32X I never had any real faith in because the Saturn
not even
was too
when they
close.
announced it.
It was all happening too close together.
Because I loved the Genesis. So did I. I loved the Genesis back in the day. I loved the Sega CD. And I mean, and by the end of Sega CD, you were getting stuff like, you had like the Lunar games, you had, Popful Mail.
I think that's the real tragedy about the way people look at the Sega CD now, because everyone says, "Oh, Night Trap, Sewer Shark," and full motion video games are dumb. Which, again, sure, whatever. But that library has a very good collection of non-FMV
actual
games that are really good.
Yeah, they are. And when and because I love Genesis so much, and because I loved the Sega CD so much, when the 32X came out, I can't say I genuinely in my heart expected it to be like a contender, but boy, I wanted it to.
And you got to remember too that if you were, if you didn't if you didn't pay attention, if you weren't reading game magazines and you weren't paying attention to the Japanese market,
Yeah.
like, I mean, when the 32X came out here, wasn't it the same time the Saturn was released in Japan?
Yeah, exactly.
And that means the
Mhm.
PlayStation was a couple weeks later.
Right.
So, it's like, well, the next generation systems are already out over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
This has no chance.
Right.
Right. No
But-
shot.
When it was announced and when they were showing stuff off, and because they hyped that up, there was a laundry list of games that
Yeah.
were
There's
announced
some really
that,
good stuff on
of
that
course,
system,
never
yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
But I loved the idea. I loved the idea of being able to cheaply upgrade
Oh,
this
absolutely.
system that I loved.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously it was a mess to do so, but with a zillion wires running between all the different components and all that crap.
Yeah.
You had to put little metal tabs inside to make the thing work. But I wanted the 32X to succeed. It was
Yeah.
clear that it wasn't going to.
No.
Right.
And even having said that, and being somebody who was savvy at the time, like we all were,
Right.
I knew that it wasn't going to last. In my heart, I knew it wasn't going to last. But at the same time, I was fully prepared to pay the extra money because I desperately
Yeah.
Virtua Fighter, Virtua Racing,
Yeah.
an amazing version of Mortal Kombat 2, which
Yeah.
was a
Well,
big deal,
I was
Yeah.
I was very
Huge.
hyped for that Star Wars game.
and the Star Wars arcade game. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
mean, it was, but I think the three of us probably went into it with our eyes open. We knew what we were getting into. So,
Yeah.
which is also why I don't share the feeling that a lot of people do about that system where they felt like they were swindled,
Right.
but I
Mm.
totally get that feeling.
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
understand it,
Sure.
but I don't share it.
If I'm answering this question, I think the 3DO probably had a real shot in
That's-
part because of Electronic Arts.
I think that's the realistic answer
Yeah.
for all four of these systems
Sure,
is
but-
3DO.
The problem at the beginning was the price tag. When they cut
Mhm.
the price tag in half, I actually bought a 3DO.
Mhm.
And at the time, they were giving away so many free games. I got 6 games or something like that for free. And
And then the problem was the library.
the
Yeah.
problem was the library. Although stuff like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo was on there, and it was fantastic. And
It was.
Samurai Showdown,
Samurai
Link
Showdown was great.
3,
you
Road
got some of that
Rash,
stuff, and it was
Need
just
for
like, oh my
Speed.
god, there's so many like interesting games doing stuff that the Sega CD can't quite do, and the
Mhm.
32X isn't doing.
Yeah.
And EA stuff was cool. I remember the day that we got the 3DO in at Babbage's. I was working that night, and we opened one up. We gutted the box, of course,
Yeah.
and then we set it up in the back and
Yeah, of course.
watched the demo disc of Batman the Animated
watched the
Series.
Batman
and
Animated,
it's
yep.
just like
Watched Heart of Ice, I believe was the
Heart of
episode
Ice.
on
And
there.
it's like
And
this is amazing.
digital video
like, this
went,
is
it
gonna
was
be the
incredible.
future.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it absolutely was.
Yeah.
We at the Babbage's I worked at, we
A few
had
miles away.
we had a couple TVs in the front of the store in like little display cases that would run. We just had VCRs hooked up to them. We would run promo tapes on them. We actually hooked up a 3DO inside the cabinet there.
in that, yeah.
and just had that demo of Batman playing on it over and over so we could like show it to people and we sold a few systems by showing them
Mhm.
because that was really
a
freaking
clip
cool.
from the Batman cartoon.
It
Well,
was
of
so
course
cool.
it was. Of course it was. It was great.
Yeah.
And I even liked the idea of it, becoming like a format that multiple electronic companies could make their own 3DO system. So you're like, oh, but this could be like the new kind of
Well, how different?
standard.
How different is that really from what we have now, where Xbox One games play on the Series X, and you have all this backwards
Yeah,
compatibility?
but I mean,
like,
but all
it
the
was-
but all the Xboxes are made by Microsoft.
That's true. Yeah,
You
but
know,
you sort of have the seed of what that
Right.
of some of that
Yeah.
back in the day.
But yeah, I just thought that was a
interesting.
cool idea where it's like, I mean, DVD wasn't out yet, was it?
They
Or
was.
was it?
No, you had
DVD
video
was late
CDs
90s.
and MPEG cartridges.
Yeah. Yeah.
like
So,
that.
but like
DVD is one of the things that killed the I don't think they have much of a chance, but all these multimedia systems, DVD
Yeah.
was the final nail in all of them
Yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's like, wait a minute, why? Like all these formats, all these disparate formats don't mean anything anymore.
yeah.
Right.
CDI and 3DO and
Yeah.
Laserdisc and everything.
Well, and you had to get like a separate add-on if you wanted to play like
You
video
had to get
CDs.
an MPEG card.
Yeah.
MPEG card.
Same
Yeah.
with the CDI.
Yeah.
which was like another few
Although
$100.
there was one, wasn't there one 3DO system that had it built in?
I think so.
Maybe.
I forget which. I think the
And then you could get the 3DO blaster.
But
Didn't they
then,
make that?
yes,
Oh,
the 3DO
you can play it on
blaster.
the
You can play
PC.
3DO
the
games on your
creative
PC.
labs, right?
Yes.
The good folks who made Sound Blaster.
But the thing too, because that was one of
That's
the big
right.
promises about those systems was that they were going to be a new video format. And video CD, I don't know if you've ever looked at one. They weren't even as good as VHS. The
Oh,
quality
no.
wasn't even
They're
near
terrible.
VHS.
No,
I
they
think
were
I
not.
still have the Battle Royale movie on
Ah.
video CD.
Wow.
Did you pick that up in Chinatown? Probably.
Yeah, it was the only way to get it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For a long time.
I think at one point I may have had that as well. Yeah.
It was super cheap. It was like $10 or something.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, it was
how can
probably-
I not buy this?
It's probably. I mean, it was certainly a bootleg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, it was an interesting time when that system came out, and yeah, it did seem like, especially with EA support
Yeah.
and Crystal
That seemed
Dynamics
like a real contender.
it did.
was that's where Crystal Dynamics got its start, right?
Yes, they were
Yeah.
created. I believe that company was created to make 3DO games.
And they were doing great
Mhm.
I
stuff
think
on
they
it.
were ex-Sega people that started that.
Oh, was it
company,
really?
Actually, I
Huh.
think so.
But yeah,
But that was the
it's-
reason they existed.
and they were doing some really cool stuff on it.
They were. Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, the EA support was the big thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, in
for
hindsight,
Speed.
the whole open format idea was not a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It was exciting. It
Yeah.
was, it was
was
a very exciting
It
time
was
in
a
the
new,
game industry.
yeah, it was a new thing.
Yeah.
So
But too expensive.
absolutely. But we also got Return Fire out of it. So
Right.
man, Return.
But see,
Fire
that's
is
the thing.
good.
For all the return fires we got like quarantine and
Yeah,
PO'd
oh, yeah.
and
Yeah,
just garbage.
exactly. Well, I mean, it was also kind of the style of the time, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of crap games like that.
Yeah.
In that kind of
But still interesting to even see
Mid-90s.
that where it was like where you had like was essentially a first person shooter with pretty low res 3D polygon graphics, but like a full motion video main character.
yeah,
Like it's like
So weird.
That's interesting. Okay.
so weird. But yeah,
Alrighty. That's a show. But before we go, I want to bring some attention to an event that some podcasters and streamers are doing next weekend,
Oh.
January 15 through 17. The hashtag on Twitter is Gaming for Guru. So Nintendo podcaster Bobby Pauls has been in the hospital in the ICU with COVID complications since before Halloween.
Jesus.
And he's still in there. And obviously, I'm sure the costs are going to be crippling when he gets out of there. So a bunch of streamers and friends of Bobby have put together this event, Gaming for Guru. Happens the 15th through the 17th to raise money for Bobby while he's still in the hospital. So I will link to that in the show notes so that interested parties can help with that. But Bobby's been the host of a lot of Nintendo shows that I've listened to over the years, and he's a great Animal Crossing streamer and just a really nice guy, really real class act. And it pains me that he's been in the hospital for nearly 3 months now. And I'm so happy that his friends and co-hosts on podcasts are putting together this event. And so I'll link to some of that stuff in the show notes. But wanted to bring attention to that event that's happening next weekend, 15th through the 17th. Gaming for Guru.
nice.
His username on Twitter, Nintendo Gurus. He's Bobby the Nintendo Guru. So,
Very nice.
and with that, we shall go into the outro. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
There sure are a lot of them.
You will find Generation 16 episodes, as
Yeah.
they happen.
I'm putting together I'm sort of taking a break from the regular schedule and trying to put together something real quick on the Astro City Mini. So I've got all the
right.
pieces
nice.
now. I just need to edit it together. I'm hoping by the end of the week that'll be out.
Nice.
Excellent. And you'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about during this episode. And you will also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening application. You can also find us on Stitcher Radio or on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can where else are we?
Everywhere.
We're on a few
Everywhere
other things.
Pods are caught.
Any way you want to do
Any
it.
way you want it.
Anyway.
That's the way.
Hey everyone, we're gonna get laid. Any
Wow.
way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. Is that in Rock Band?
Yes.
It must be.
Of course it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Then the game is finished.
the game is complete.
That is it. If you've liked what you've heard, and how could you? You can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. There are, after all, 2 new songs coming out every week on Rock Band.
Yep.
And
That's
if
right.
CJ doesn't have that SSD full of the latest hits from BTS and Gangnam Style.
Did you say Gangnam Style?
I said Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah, Gangnam Style.
Psy is the fellow's name who did that song, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know any other Korean acts.
It's okay.
CJ wants to buy Rock Band songs, so send us your money, folks.
I haven't bought any Rock Band songs in a long time,
Well,
actually.
are you really a fan then?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
700 songs later. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. But no, your Patreon dollars will, of course, help keep our show afloat. It keeps our Zoom zooming so we can do this live every week. All those little hidden costs. And hey, Patreon friends, if you are a Patreon subscriber of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you will gain access to a special weekly bonus episode. We record it right after this. We play games, we crack wise, we have fun doing all the things we can't do on the regular show because government regulations that limit the amount of fun that you can have on one particular podcast. That's why we got to split it up into 2. Do we have a game this week, CJ?
We have a review game. for you guys.
What are we
That's right.
reading? What magazine are we reading?
Well, it is the January 1996 edition of Die Hard Game Fan.
Right in the heat of that Jaguar
Right in the heat of that.
3DO timeline there. So
That's right.
this should be a bit of a mess.
Possibly.
Please look forward to that, Patreon friends. And if you would like a sample of what our after shows are like, CJ is on Thursdays putting out some of our old ones. They're evergreen. You know, it's not current event type stuff. So give it a listen if you like what you hear. If you just want to support us, Patreon's right there. And hey, if you have a couple bucks left over, you can head over to generation-16.com where you'll find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite second banana that had a CD add-on and an amazing 32-bit upgrade, the Sega Genesis.
They released a branded power strip so that you could put all 3 wall warts on one.
Oh,
I have that power strip.
So do I.
It was, boy, let me tell you, that thing was a lifesaver back in the day, though.
Well, yeah. Where the hell were you going to find 3 outlets otherwise that you could put those wall
Yeah.
warts on? It was hard to even get 2 of them in one outlet.
The Sega power strip, the outlets holes were oriented in such a way that you could have them all facing outward,
Mhm.
and they had the Sega letters in between in between each plug, so there was ample space. It was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a great. I used that
Smart
power
idea.
strip for years. Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for that. And remember, my Patreon for Generation 16 is set up so that you only pay when you support the show. You only pay per episode because the
Yeah.
episodes sometimes take a while to come out. And if you are a patron of that show of the $5 persuasion,
Cheap. Oh, wait, also cheap.
no, that's
Ho.
both worked.
Ho.
Then you have access to weekly video logs
Oh.
that I don't record
Vlogs.
while I'm driving because Phil yelled at me.
Well, you know, safety first, man.
Sorry.
Safety first. But yes, so please do that. And CJ, do you want to
Yes.
do you want to promote your new site?
My new site, my new website. Yeah,
Yeah.
secondplayer.net. That's where you'll find new and interesting podcasts and videos to check out, including one episode that I highlighted last week is a comedy film podcast called From Justin to Kane
Mm-hmm.
that did a special episode on video games, and they compared the similarities between The Last of Us and
Yeah.
Superman 64.
What? That's cool.
Well, there we
Yes,
go.
it is really fun, really funny podcast. I'll link
Nice.
to that in the show notes too. So yeah, secondplayer.net, and you can follow that on Twitter at secondplayernet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it for this week. CJ,
Uh-huh.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yes.
Gregory,
Yo.
thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you. And of course, thank you to our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single one of you. Please take care of yourself in this exciting and tumultuous new year. Stay safe. Take care of your family, your loved ones, your friends. Keep wearing that mask. We're getting through it. And we'll see you next week, where I will be 1 year older and none the
Indeed.
wiser. So, doodle-oodles.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.